Who sets the rates for the tolls?
So the rates for the tolls are set based upon, and I think we heard some discussion about that earlier, but they're based on the congestion that are in the hot lanes or the express
My
lane.
question is, who sets the rates?
95 express lanes set the rates.
Are they a private company? Are they a private company, or is it a regulatory agency?
Yes.
So who looks, and that money goes, as he was asking, where do that rates go? To the private company?
Right, so
Is
the
there an accounting for it?
Yes, there is. There are accounting and reports that that go to both the federal, our federal partners as well as to VDOT for our oversight and review. There are cost sharing provisions in the contract when certain rates of return are reached. It's fairly complicated, but it goes throughout the life of the project. So we review those returns. Now, you know, the project was largely paid for by 95 express lanes, and I understand, you know, we've paid our tax dollars, but our tax dollars are not enough to pay for all of these improvements. So that was about a $700 million investment that was made by a private company, and so, you know, like when you own your house, it's basically going to pay the mortgage, to pay the operation and maintenance of the facility. There are provisions in there, as I said, if a certain rates of return are achieved during the life of this 70-year contract, there is a way for money to come back to the public side.
Do you know what the rate of return is?
There's a formula. I couldn't tell you. I mean, there's a lot of ifs, and it's a complicated formula. I can get that information for you if you want.
Or is it available for the public, and could I find it online?
Yes, it's available. The contract is available online. Anybody can look at the terms and conditions of the overall contract. As I said, it is fairly complicated, but yes.
I'm Walter Lesovich. I'm a resident of Alexandria. I'm also president of Parkside at Alexandria, one of the communities that voted against one of the sound walls. My question is that hearing previous speakers talk, that basically sound walls you're going to be doing an analysis about whether sound walls are available or are applicable. The question that I have is that communities that voted against the sound wall in the past, are you going to go back to them again, or is it basically going to be a redo?
Right, because this is a new project and we're adding capacity by adding the third lane. If a sound wall is deemed reasonable and feasible, similar to what, you know, our previous process, we would need to go back to the community. And I understand that for those communities that voted no, it just is, it's a requirement of our federal process if we get to that point.
As a follow-up, I understand it's a requirement of your process. The question is that basically, is it going to be a situation where we get like 2 days to vote, like what happened last time, or is it going to be an appropriate period of discussion?
Well, you might recall that last time when we did the voting,
yes.
we did several rounds of voting.
Yes, because there were mistakes.
Right. We had an issue with the certified mail that was not sent by the post office, and we also wanted to make sure we got good returns, and that's one of the things that we struggle with when we send the voting out by mail to the properties that are get a vote. It's not the entire community. It's those that are shown by our noise study to be impacted and benefited from the noise wall. And we just try to get as many returns as we can on those votes, because say we send out 50 ballots, if we only get back 20, we're not sure that that's representative of the community. And so we work very hard to try and increase those percentages. I don't remember exactly what they were, but they were not as high as we wanted, which was why we did go back several times to try to maximize the number of people that we heard from.
Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Stacy Fox. I'm a longtime Alexandria resident. My daughter went to Samuel Tucker. She's now here at Hammond. And our concern is because of the congestion and all the traffic that's gonna come here. We have no school crossing guard, we have no enforcement here. There's a lot of cars on the road and the children are constantly in jeopardy. So it's for the mayor, can we at least, now that you guys are gonna have all these cars coming here, can we at least get some kind of enforcement for the traffic here to help the children? I'm sorry? Yes, right here. We have the students are out here, we have the teachers are out here with the traffic, stopping traffic. We have the counselors, we have nothing here to help the children. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'm gonna ask